Taylor Swift has been a hot topic these last couple of weeks, and it seems the teapot is boiling over at this point, and some people have had enough of hearing about the pop star and are full on vocalizing it. It's turned into such a mess, and we're going to get into how it got to this point this week. Now, if you guys follow me on other social media accounts, then you probably know that I'm a Taylor Swift fan, and it's getting rough out here with all eyes on her. Whether people want to be looking or not, the conversation surrounding her has just seemed to be slammed in everyone's face, and it's causing a lot of conversation that don't really make her look good. I do think that after the Super Bowl, things will simmer down and she won't be in the press as much, at least until April when her new album comes out, hopefully giving those tired of news hitting their timeline a little break. But ever since Taylor Swift started dating Travis Kelce publicly, she's been pushed onto a new audience, the sports fans of the world. Some were already fans of her and others wanted nothing to do with her on their screen. The NFL has seemingly loved every second of this relationship though, as Swifties gathered together to watch football, some for the first time, or well, for the first time they were actually caring to watch football. And as she started going to more games, the complaining started as to why they would show her on the screen so much, and people started to get sick of the conversation surrounding this famous couple. Some football fans took things a step further when their teams were going up against Kansas City, starting to burn pictures of Taylor as she became so heavily associated with the Chiefs. And when Kansas City landed themselves a spot in the Super Bowl, some fans felt as though the game was rigged in their favor to drive more viewers to the Super Bowl, with anticipation of Taylor possibly being in attendance to support her boyfriend. Prior to the game, it had been reported that Taylor Swift's appearance boosted NFL Sunday ratings to 24.3 million viewers. Taylor had already had a huge year in 2023, as everyone knew that she was on tour and that fans had battled to get tickets to that tour, but this just amplified the conversation surrounding her name. And it does seem like when you're on such a big high of getting talked about so much, even if it's positive, there is a point where people start to get annoyed and think, wait, this is actually really annoying, and either dig up things or start saying, you know, I didn't like it when this happened, or I didn't like that, I found that annoying. Am I the only one that thinks this, and this? And the conversations just snowball. I remember recently when Renee Rapp was on the Mean Girls press tour, and then she did SNL. She was getting so much love, and people kept saying that as fans of hers, they were starting to get nervous that people were going to start ripping into her because of this high that she seemed to be on. And some also pointed out that when Olivia Rodrigo came out with Driver's License, everyone seemed to be obsessed with her. But after some time, some started to vocalize that they didn't like that she didn't speak out about not sending hate to who her songs were about, thought that was wrong, and accused her of making songs that sound too similar to other artists. Obviously, we talk about people all the time and we hold people accountable for their actions, but something that people have been talking about is the fact that the more you're in the press, the more you're in the headlines, the more likely conversations like this are going to happen where people are really looking into what you're doing and starting to analyze those things, which is what a lot of people would say is like the price of fame. But some people are feeling like, in terms of Taylor Swift right now, people are trying to cancel her. I do think that she has been canceled before. If you guys remember the whole Kim, Kanye, and the phone call, I mean, she was canceled, she went into hiding, and I don't think that right now she is that level of canceled, but I definitely think there are people that are trying to get some momentum going to cancel her. And I definitely see how Taylor has been in the press so much this past week that if you do not like her, or even if you're just kind of like a half fan, you listen to her music, I could see how it's just annoying. First, there was the Grammys, where some didn't like that she announced her album when she won Best Pop Vocal Album, saying it was tacky to do it there. Others were also annoyed that she won Album of the Year and criticized her for bringing Lana Del Rey on stage, feeling like Lana wanted to sit back at the table and mourn losing to Taylor and didn't want to go up on that stage. Others defended that Lana was part of Taylor's album and that's why she wanted Lana on the stage and meant no harm. Others were also annoyed that she didn't interact with Celine Dion while accepting her award. And later, behind the scenes of the Grammys, there was footage going around of her celebrating and people were like, she's annoying. Lana ended up addressing those who thought that she was unhappy at the Grammys though, replying to a fan on Instagram saying, I literally just loved being there. I love to see everyone get the tea and hang out, get dressed up. I literally did not feel 1 ounce of negative emotion at any point in that award ceremony. It was pure funniness and laughter. But there are people thinking that she's just saying this despite posting photos of her and Taylor from the Grammys on her Instagram. But like I said, it's just not Taylor's week, and things only got worse with the Super Bowl around the corner. Leading up to the big game, there has been so much speculation over whether or not she would be able to make it to the game since she started her tour back up again and will have just played a show in Tokyo. Tons of people reported on if she would be able to make it back, calculating the flight times and all of that. Even the Embassy of Japan in the US made a statement saying that Taylor should be able to make it to the game in time. This then began a conversation from a few years ago about Taylor Swift and the amount of flights that she takes a year. Back in 2022, an article was published naming Taylor as the celebrity with the worst private jet CO2 emission. The Yard published this information, stating that they calculated this from information made public by the Twitter account Celebrity Jets. There's also another list going around stating the celebrities in the top 30 from 2023, and she's not on that list. I'm honestly not sure how this information was calculated. In terms of what was said in 2022 by the Twitter account Celebrity Jets, this week it became known that Taylor's team had sent this person who runs this account, Jack Sweeney, a cease and desist, not once, but twice. The account Celeb Jets has been removed from X by Elon Musk, but Jack runs several other accounts on social media where he puts out the same information that he used to on Celebrity Jets. Jack Sweeney is a college student who runs the website Ground Control. On there, he tracks several big-name celebrity jets. Each celeb he tracks has several social media pages for their jet information. Taylor's team sending the cease and desist to Jack has had even more eyes looking at his page dedicated to her, and it started a lot more drama for her, bringing back up that 2022 conversation about how much she's using her jet. It didn't help that Jack had recently tweeted out that her jet had just done 2 28-mile flights, which angered tons online, feeling like it was so messed up to not just take a car for this short distance. It wasn't until days later that Jack revealed this flight wasn't actually Taylor, tweeting, "The last few flights on this account are right around the time that N898TS was sold. Registration for the aircraft transferred on February 4th, 2024. These short flights are likely maintenance or demo flights. As of now, Swift has one jet, N621MM. But by then, it was too late. People had run with the story, reporting on the fact that she had taken this 28-mile flight as a fact.
We all know that Taylor Swift has spent more time in private jets than 90% of the population has spent in regular planes combined. But I just saw that she took a plane to go 28 miles.
And Twitter had a field day with this, tweeting things like Taylor Swift when the phone charger is on the other side of the bed, Taylor Swift grabbing the mail from outside. Others said that regardless of this information being false about the 28-mile flight, it doesn't take away from the other flights that she's taken over the years that have done significant damage to the environment. The Associated Press recently covered the whole conversation surrounding Taylor's excessive use of her jet and discussed carbon offset writing. One often discussed way to address air travel pollution is paying for carbon offsets, which aim to balance out emissions released. For example, trees pull carbon out of the air, so offset programs include planting trees that, at least in theory, balance out pollution from air travel. They reference the fact that Bill Gates has defended himself before, writing, "Gates has defended his travel by private plane by saying he purchases offsets and supports clean technology and other sustainability initiatives." Swift's publicist told the Associated Press that Taylor purchased more than double the carbon credits needed to offset all tour travel before her tour began, but did not provide any details. They continued, "Still, there are many questions about the effectiveness of offsets. They are loosely regulated, and investigations by news organizations in recent years have shown some programs overestimate how much carbon is being captured or have questionable practices. Offsets are still the Wild West of climate change and have been riddled with fraud, failed projects, and dubious effectiveness," says Jonathan Foley, executive director of Project Drawdown, a group that publicizes climate solutions. Planting trees, for example, might work or not, depending on how the forests are managed in the long run. Foley, along with many climate scientists and policy experts, argue that instead of offset for air travel, it would be much better to sharply reduce the use of planes, particularly of private jets, while developing cleaner fuels. Several airline companies are also developing planes that are powered by electricity and thus will not have emissions. As for the cease and desist sent to Jack, He's actually received 2, like I said. He shared one of the letters publicly on Reddit that accused him of stalking and harassing behavior. The letter he received wrote, "Dear Mr. Sweeney, please be advised that Venable LLP represents Miss Taylor Swift. We understand that you are the individual operating the Instagram account, Taylor Swift Jets, and the Threads account by the same name. For the past year, through these offending accounts, you have engaged in stalking and harassing behavior, including consistently publishing real-time and precise information about our client's location and future whereabouts to the public on social media. This conduct poses an imminent threat to the safety and well-being of our client and must stop. We request that you immediately cease and desist from any further publication of this information. Remove all currently posted content on the offending accounts, and permanently terminate the operation of the offending accounts. You are notorious for disregarding the personal safety of others in exchange for public attention and/or requests for financial gain. We are aware of your public dispute with other high-profile individuals and your tactics in those interactions, including offering to stop your harmful behavior only in exchange for items of value. While this may be a game to you or an avenue that you hope will earn you wealth or fame, it is a life or death matter for our client. Miss Swift has dealt with stalkers and other individuals who wish her harm since she was a teenager. Indeed, there are many public cases of individuals who have come to Miss Swift's residencies, including those armed with weapons and ammunition, and attempted to harm her. This reality has forced our client to live her life in a constant state of fear for her personal safety. That fear is and has been significantly heightened due to your reckless actions. Because of the offending accounts share live updates on her destination and the exact time our client will arrive at a given location, you essentially provide individuals intent on physically harming her or with nefarious or violent intentions a roadmap to carry out their plans. Of course, you have actual knowledge of all of this. Many social media users have commented on the offending accounts, expressing shock and concern at the danger you have created. Below is just a small sampling of the clear warnings that users have made in comments on the Instagram offending account. So many people obsessed with Taylor's private life. It's scary and pathetic. You are unhinged stalkers. I feel like ethically you should delay these posts by a day so it's not so creepy. At least this stalker account is finally good for something. This is creepy, bro. You're literally stalking her. The account is still very, very creepy, especially for Taylor, who has been stalked before. Yes, y'all, she literally has stalkers who want to hurt her, which is why this page is so problematic and dangerous. I'm going to encourage everybody to report this account. This is stalker behavior and it's so up. This account is so weird and invasive. Yet your unlawful behavior continues. Your willingness and repeated harassment of our client is in violation of several state laws, as is your intentional, offensive, and outrageous conduct and consistent violation of our client's privacy. To be clear, there is no justification for you to publicly identify our client's location. Indeed, there is no legitimate interest or public need for this information, other than to stalk, harass, and exert dominant control. Your posts on the offending accounts have caused and will continue to cause direct and irreparable harm, as well as emotional and physical distress to our client, her family, and those close to her. Your wrongful and dangerous actions must stop. Accordingly, we demand that you cease and desist from any further use or operation of the offending accounts and any similar accounts involving our client. Remove all content related to our client from the offending accounts and immediately stop providing information about our client's location to the public. If you fail to adhere to these demands immediately and by no later than close of business on December 26, 2023, or if you continue to publish information that threatens our client's safety, she will have no choice but to pursue any and all legal remedies available to her. We will not hesitate to escalate this matter as needed. Our client reserves all rights. Jack now claims that he doesn't post flight information until 24 hours after the fact and indicates so in the bio of the social pages for Taylor Swift's jets. And it seems he deleted the original Twitter account in which he was giving real-time updates and just recently started this new account in November that is SwiftJet next day. The internet does seem split on whether or not Jack should be allowed to share this information about celebrity jet whereabouts. He also clarified where he gets his information, tweeting, "There is a bit of misinformation circulating. I don't use tracking data from the FAA. I use unencrypted signals broadcast straight from planes. ADS-B. FAA ICAO mandates aircraft broadcast locations using ADS-B. Hobbyists operate networks that collect these unencrypted signals." He does does share more than just where jets land though, and the other day tweeted out saying, "Look what came in the mail today from the FAA, the registration documents for N898TS and N621MM. It includes Taylor Swift signing off on N898TS," and then tweeted that he uploaded these documents to his website. This isn't the first time a celebrity has tried to come for Jack though, as Elon Musk tried to come for him, even offering him $5,000 to stop sharing his information, to which Jack then asked for $50,000, but no money was ever exchanged. Mark Cuban, however, was able to strike a deal with Jack, as he agreed to meet Jack at a basketball game in exchange for him to stop sharing his jet information publicly. Now, who knows what will happen between him and Taylor, but one thing is for sure, and that is that this whole situation has caused a whole big conversation surrounding her name. There's been a ton of opinions going around about her this week, and they don't seem to be chilling out. But maybe after the big game, things will, and everything will kind of go back to the way that they were, where people are not talking about her every day and annoying those that don't want to hear about her. I guess we'll just have to see, but that's what's been going on with Taylor Swift as of recent and what people have had to say about the singer. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.